So, what happens when you win big? I mean, life-changingly big. You'd probably think, that's it, I've made it. But here's the thing, that's often just the starting line for an even tougher battle, the one that happens right inside your own head. Today, we're going to get into that intense psychological fight, the one between that amazing, euphoric feeling of a huge win and the discipline you need to actually hold on to it. So let's set the scene. Our story kicks off back in 2020, which, as you might remember, was a time of just incredible volatility in the markets. I mean, this was a time when fortunes were literally being made overnight. And that created this really dangerous, really seductive trap for anyone who got swept up in the moment. And it all starts with this one super volatile, leveraged stock called VIX. At one point, it was just sitting there, trading for about $50. Now, this was a risky asset, for sure, but it was just packed with this incredible potential energy, kind of like a coiled spring just waiting to be released. And then, boom, it exploded. That same stock shot up from $50 all the way to $1,000. That's a 20x return. Can you imagine? It's the kind of gain that creates millionaires in a flash. And with it comes this powerful, all-consuming feeling that you're invincible. It feels like you just can't lose. But here is the cold, hard dose of reality. The person behind this story tells us about traders he met who rode this exact wave to over $1 million, some even $2 million. And how long did that fortune last them? Weeks. Just weeks. And that right there, that perfectly highlights the core problem. Winning the money was one thing, but keeping it, well, that turned out to be a completely different game. So what on earth happened? Why did these massive, life-changing wins just evaporate so quickly? It wasn't about bad luck. It was all psychology. It was about the incredible danger of throwing your plan out the window and just starting to trade based on a feeling, on that emotional high. And this is what that euphoria does to you. It's so destructive. That bubbly feeling, that sense that you're a genius who can't miss, it makes you do crazy things. You start ignoring the most basic rules, like setting your stops. You trade on pure impulse. Or even worse, you start placing trades just because you're bored. You get overconfident, take on totally unnecessary risks, and you're just chasing that high, convinced your golden touch is permanent. It's a total systematic breakdown of discipline. This leads us to a really powerful metaphor for these two ways of thinking. On one side, you've got what we'll call the chimpanzee mindset. It's all about that euphoria, it's impulsive, it's jumping all over the place, reacting to every little bit of noise. But on the other side, you've got the cheetah mindset. And the cheetah, it's patient, it's planned, it's powerful. It just sits and watches, and only when the moment is perfect does it act with purpose. Now, it'd be really easy to just say, okay, simple. Just get rid of your emotions. But come on, that's not how humans work, right? The real breakthrough, the real turning point, comes when you stop trying to fight your emotions and you start seeing them as something else entirely. You start seeing them as your teachers. And this is so crucial. We're always taught that feelings like fear and greed are these terrible things we need to crush. But what if they're not the enemy at all? What if they're actually just signals? That fear you're feeling, maybe it's a signal that you're way too over-leveraged. That greed, it might just be a signal that you're in that euphoric state and you're about to break your own rules. They're just data points, and they're here to teach us something. When you see it like that, it helps you reframe this whole thing. Trading isn't some cold math problem. It's a game based on confidence and emotion. And in any game, guess what? You're going to have wins and you're going to have losses. If you can start seeing a loss not as some huge personal failure, but just as a totally normal, necessary part of learning to play the game better, well, that's absolutely essential. Okay, so we get it. We understand the problem, we know our emotions are really signals, and we know we're playing a game. So the big question is, how do you actually manage all of this? How do you quiet down that noisy chimpanzee in your head and wake up the cheetah? And this is where it all comes together, into a strategy you can actually use. It all comes down to learning how to embody the mindset of the world's most efficient predator. It's about learning to trade like a cheetah. This quote right here is the absolute heart of the whole philosophy. A trade is not an impulse. It is a planned event. You don't jump in because you have FOMO, and you don't panic and rush out because of a sudden dip. Every single move is deliberate, it's calculated, it's planned. And it breaks down into 3 really clear steps. First, you sit and watch. You're hiding in the bushes, you're observing your prey, which is the trade setup, and you are just patiently waiting for that perfect moment. Second, when that moment finally comes, you grab and move. You execute with total speed, full commitment, no hesitation, no second guessing. And third, and this part is so important, you relax. You step away, you recover your energy, and you get ready for the next planned event. Now, what's really cool is that this mindset doesn't just stop at a trading chart. You can actually expand it into a much wider philosophy for your life, shifting your whole perspective away from scarcity and fear and into a game of abundance and flow. So you want to know the fastest way to really lock in this powerful, abundant mindset? The answer might surprise you. It's simple. Give back. Yeah, whether it's giving away advice or tips or even money. See, the very act of giving reinforces the belief that there's more than enough to go around, and it just completely destroys that scarcity mindset that fuels the fearful chimpanzee. And this leads to a pretty profound question for all of us, right? What are you distributing out into the world? It's so easy to just spread fear and blame and anxiety, but the cheetah mindset challenges us to make a conscious choice to distribute wealth and prosperity and knowledge instead. And this isn't just about being a good person, it's about creating the very energy that you want to attract back into your own life. So let this be the big takeaway. You aren't just a person trying to pile up stuff. As a human being, you are a sentence of abundance, of distribution. Your purpose isn't just to hunt and to hoard. It's to be a force of flow and prosperity for yourself and for others. And honestly, that might just be the most powerful trade you could ever make.